to give the other team a chance. We just need to make the plan weaker.
Hey everyone, welcome back. How do you feel about the special voices in this game, such as that one, such as Arnold Schwarzenegger, such as the Cobra event stuff? Personally, I like it the first couple times I hear it, but after that it just becomes quite repetitive, such as, for example, what we just heard there, the smarty pants remark at the beginning. Sure, it's fine, but again, yeah, once you hear it a few hundred times, it's I don't like it. So overall, I'm going to say I don't like it. But anyway, today we have a battle that's been played by a player that goes by the name Masterpiece. He is in the WoT 3, and this tank is one of the ones I haven't played. There's a lot of tanks I haven't played still, to be honest, even after playing, I don't even remember how many battles it is, 30,000 battles in this game, playing for 13 years or so, something like that. But he is going to show us what Lucky is. So he's going to be more or less sitting in the same place, and he is still going to give us a very entertaining battle. Normally you think, oh, he's camping, it's going to be the most boring thing ever, but really this one, I think, is one of those exceptions, about the most exciting a semi-camping player can get. So he manages to get himself into a semi-aggressive camping spot, I guess we can kind of call this, in this bush. At least when you're in this spot, there's a chance of you being spotted, especially if you're firing through that bush, firing your gun while you're in the bush. If you're in a bush and that bush is transparent and you can see through it, then you're too close, you're going to be spotted through it. It's no longer helping with your camo. So, after a few moments here at the beginning of this match, Masterpiece realizes that this is not going to be the place for him, and he is going to take up a new position. And for him to decide what position that's going to be, well, we'll see. There we go. Oh, okay, that's about as unlucky as Masterpiece is going to get in this match, and you're going to see exactly what I mean in a few minutes. I don't want to spoil anything, but now he's going back to his extra campy hiding spot back here, which makes perfect sense. If you look at the southern flank of this map, you can see that our allies, Masterpiece's allies, are falling apart. That is not looking too great. So he's getting himself in position. He's paying attention to the mini-map, which is what good players should do, and typically do. I'm an adult. So yeah, he's getting ready for that. And something else he does here that I really like, he is thinking about what he's going to have to do. He's loading a high explosive round. He's taking out that house. He wants to get that building out of there with one shot, so he loaded a high explosive and aimed for the middle. That way the high explosive round would take up both halves of the building at once, rather than him having to waste 2 shots on it. He's switching to premium rounds now. He's expecting some heavy tanks to come around the corner, and now very soon you're going to see what kind of luck we've got in store here for you. And on a side note, if you've been wondering why there hasn't been a whole lot of World of Tanks videos recently, it's been because the replay system in World of Tanks has been kind of broken. All these micro patches have been causing many problems. For example, in this one, as you may have noticed already, there's no engine sounds. I don't get it why there's not engine sounds. The next video you're going to see from me with World of Tanks, the engine sounds are working just fine, but the replay system, something's weird, and when they get uploaded to the WoT Replay's website, the sorting option is broken in a way I don't want to get into right now, but look at this. The side of a 60 TP, long range, puts 2 shots into the thing. The 60 TP has absolutely terrible side armor. That is one of the downfalls of that tank. That and the 60 TP has pretty bad penetration, even with its premium rounds. It makes fighting a lot of things, including itself, difficult. If I was in another 60 TP shooting at the side of a 60 TP like Masterpiece did right here, that would have not gone through ever. Unless I got really lucky and hit that tiny little bit of a turret ring that sticks out in the side of the hull. But now Masterpiece is trying to find another shot. He got lucky twice already with 2 shots on the side of that 60 TP. Fairly difficult shots to hit. Let's see what else he can do. Again, we're camping. This is, like I said, about the most exciting a camping game can get. But still, there's camping going on. So, yeah, we're welcome to it. And you can see Masterpiece here. He's using that same bush mechanic I mentioned earlier. If he moves up to the bush, you can see through it nicely. And he gets some spots out there if anything is close enough. And it looks like the spotting range is pretty good in this vehicle. Look at that. Through the tortoise. But if he backs away from it a little bit, then his camo value is way better and way more helped by the fact that that bush is there. So you're going to see him looking through the bush. He spots a target. He's not going to back up for this one. What? And there's the first big thing of luck. He didn't back up from the bush at that time because there was a smaller bush in the middle between the Object 2685 and himself. But man, how often do you get to ammo rack someone from full health? It's pretty rare. He did a full 2,000 damage with that shot. Not too shabby. I'll take that any day. And now, who's this next victim going to be? AMX-50B, of course, has put himself into a bad position. The 50B is now going to be a one-shot kill for pretty much everything on Masterpiece's team. There's an Object 430 over there. We're going to see now another example of Masterpiece getting unlucky in this game, and this might actually be the very last unlucky shot the Masterpiece manages to put in. But don't worry too much about that, because he's going to make up for that right now. He managed to set this 430U on fire, and it looks like this 430U must have either had just the regular small extinguisher, or I don't know if a really good extinguisher, like firefighting crew, could have done that fast to put out that fire. But he got an extra 434 damage from that shot, as well as 2 shots that his allies managed to put into that 430U to give him some assistance damage for tracking. Now, Masterpiece is looking around. He's kind of thinking, okay, I've got the 60 TP, the WZ-114, the T-54 potentially on the southern flank there. They're going to be a problem that he's watching for now. But he's also looking at the mini-map, and you can see him looking behind himself quite regularly, seeing that something like this UDES 16 is on the hill approaching behind him, and something like this Char Future 4 is also potentially going to be causing a problem. Masterpiece is trying his best to get a shot at the Char Future. Unfortunately, his ally was kind of blocking the shot, but managed to sneak one in as the Char Future decides that he wants to get out of here, and that costs the Char Future a lot of hit points. And again, a very nice shot from Masterpiece. That was a relatively tricky one to get through a tank-sized gap at a reasonably long distance on a moving target. Not too shabby at all. Now, this UDES 16 must think that he's safe here, but he is absolutely not. Even that alone was a relatively slim shot, given sorta-ish. I wouldn't have been surprised at all if that shot had gone low and hit the hillside instead of finding his target. And Masterpiece has already done over 8,000 damage, and watch this shot too. Aiming for the cupola on the top of the 60 TP at, I think, over 400 meters, and managing to hit it no problem. That 60 TP is now eliminated with some help from Masterpiece here. And now for the side of the Tortoise. The side of the Tortoise, not a terribly difficult shot. I'll give average credit for that one. And now Masterpiece has finally been spotted in this game and takes a few shots in the side, but he's luckily been able to tuck himself behind this building, and he should be pretty safe from here for the moment. Something else is still blind shooting at this bush, hoping that it's hitting Masterpiece. The AMX-50B has put another one into Masterpiece, but luckily bounced. And now this Grill 15 is going to meet his end. Masterpiece knows that he fired through that bush too closely, and he might be spotted, so he's going behind this building just in case. Sixth Sense did not go off, though, so now he's going to assume that he is safe for the moment. And he's probably a little bit concerned about this Manticore on the enemy team that is lurking somewhere around here. I would be concerned about that, because that drastically increases the chances that Masterpiece is going to be spotted after firing. Looking at him backing away from this bush as much as he possibly can, and finishing off the Badger. The front of that Badger definitely has pretty good armor, and if I was at something like the 60 TP again, I would not expect that shot to have penetrated. I would have been quite happy if it did. And the shot on the Manticore just barely misses. Hopefully, our allied Manticore manages to finish off the enemy one. Yes, absolutely. Looks like that might have been a ram kill. That's very important. If that enemy Badger enemy Manticore had managed to get away, that could have been very detrimental to the team. That could have meant that the entirety of the remainder of Masterpiece's team could have been taken out without that Manticore even being spotted. And those things are so sneaky. Come on, we know that Masterpiece won't miss a shot, right? Hopefully. He's had all the luck this game. Hopefully it doesn't run out now. That WZ looks like it's not going to give Masterpiece a chance to try that, though. And it also looks like our allied Manticore is quite concerned about that 50B and the enemy Tortoise that may be approaching or may have a shot around here. Now, I'm wondering if this game is quite close right now. I'm wondering if this game lasting longer would be an advantage to the enemy or an advantage to our allies here. I would say allies because of what Manticore we have. We're able to outspot them a little bit. But the advantage to the enemy team because they have an artillery. And artillery tends to work better when you have longer games, given that it's got a longer reload. And really, the more shots you give that artillery to fire, it's almost like the safest shots you can possibly get. But WZ has now decided to push out, which is kind of a bad decision in my opinion. And as you can see, he is absolutely paying for that decision. Now, I think if the enemy Manticore was still alive, then that Manticore could have done all the spotting here and meant that WZ didn't have to push out and get himself ammo racked killed like that. That's the second time the vehicle on the enemy team has gotten themselves ammo racked. Now the 50B is trying to get away, running for his life. Manages to get a sneaky shot in there on the move. Not too bad. Probably an auto-aim shot, given that it was going through that wall. but that's okay. The 50B is trying to pull back into another position, probably trying to get the drop on Masterpiece if Masterpiece decides to push up on him, which it looks like he's going to. The 50B is presumably reloading at this point, which is probably why he wants to get out of there as much as possible, knowing that he will have a huge disadvantage, obviously, if he doesn't have any shells. That, you know, that typically works better when you have something to shoot at the enemy with, right? Our STRV has been left on his own to deal with the remainder of the Tortoise, but it shouldn't be a problem. The STRV does have a big health point advantage, so as long as something silly doesn't happen there, everything will be okay. But look out on the right, the 50B is shooting at Masterpiece, but it doesn't matter. Masterpiece snaps his tank around, takes a snapshot, manages to finish him off, and heads up, bring your umbrella. I said, bring your umbrella. I sense some rain in the air, right? There it is. There's the rain. And you can see exactly where that artillery shot came from. Masterpiece thinks about putting a blind shot into the bush, I think, there. But ultimately just can't quite get the right position there, especially with that heap of dead vehicles that he's looking at in the way. So Masterpiece has instead decided that he's going to go full speed ahead and try to find that GW Tiger, try to spot him and kill him before that GW Tiger hopefully reloads and manages to shave off a big chunk of hit points. And just like that, 6 kills for our hero here, Masterpiece, and almost 12,000 damage. That's absolutely incredible. That's a wonderful game, a game that I would be extremely happy to have. That would be by far a damage record for myself. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time.